All right, guys, this is the last video you're going to watch for this week when it comes to figuring out your total budget. When you're watching this video, remember that you can stop, rewind as many times as you need so that you get the directions as to how to get this accomplished. So this is the third page, I guess you could say. You've already filled in your facts. Now you're going to do your total budget. Fuel cost total. Well, you're going to go back to the page that looks like this, where you figured out how many gallons of gas you were going to need. You multiplied it by the national average of gas, and you got your total. Okay, so this is on the page that has to do with your miles per gallon of your car. You're going to take that number and you're going to put it over here on this last page, fuel cost total. Notice on my page I've got $73.35. And on this page, on this first line, there's that $73.35. On that same page on the bottom, your hotel total for the 3 nights, you wrote down right there. So your hotel total cost, or cost total, goes right there on that second line. Now your restaurant food cost total. This one was a little tough. I know I kind of walked through this with one of you guys. You should have come up with a total for one day. So you took your total for breakfast, your total for lunch, your total for dinner. You added them all up, which was down along the bottom of this. And you came up with your total food cost. Now that's just for one day. Remember, this is a 4-day trip. So you've got to take that food cost, multiply it by 4 to give you what your total food cost is going to be for the entire time that you're gone on your trip. Okay, so that's 3 meals a day for 4 days. You take that food cost total and you put it on the line on the last page. Now, another thing that you did this week was find some attractions. Now, if you're lucky enough to have found attractions that don't cost anything, then your attraction total might be pretty low. If you look at my 3 attractions, I have my Fort Sumter was $24 for the ferry ride to get out there. Then my plantation tour was $60, and then my ghost tour was $26. So I took those 3 attractions, added them all up, and that's what gives me my attraction total. You might find things that are free. Lucky you. Okay? Don't worry about finding ones for free. Remember, we don't have a budget to stay under. So whatever your costs were, just add them up if you have them and put them here. So your grand total is just going to be adding those 4 numbers together to come up with the total cost of your trip. Okay? This might very well be one of the cheapest trips I've ever personally taken. Of course, it is only 4 days long. But I'm happy with that. Not surprised by the food costing me the most. So that's all you're doing there. Adding all of those items up, putting the total here. The next thing is going to be finding a percentage. I'm showing you right here how to find the percentage. So it says your fuel budget percentage. So you take your fuel total. Mine was $73.35. I put it here on this line. I'm dividing it by my trip total. I get 0.11. Turn that into a percent, it becomes 11% because I just moved my decimal point over 2 times. I do the same thing for my hotels. My total was $189. I divide that by the same thing that I did before, my total trip cost. Here I get 0.28 or 28%. Makes sense that this number is higher because my hotels were more expensive than my fuel. And then even more for my food. $280 divided by the 653 gives me 0.42, or 42% of my trip total is going to be food. Lastly, you do the same thing with your attractions. There's my number there. I divide it by my total trip number, and I get 16%. That's all you got to do. If you weren't quite sure what I did, pause the video, rewind the video, take a really good look to see what you have. You can figure this out.